Hello, it is I. Now if you could choose what you want to see in Forza Horizon 5, you'd probably think of huge features, like wide body kits on every single car in the game, being able to walk around the map on foot, or even driving modes on all cars that have them in real life. And though in my opinion that would massively improve the gameplay experience, it's just not worth it, as sometimes it's the small features which make all the difference. Well, that's where I come to play, as in today's video I decided to compile 10 small features which would massively transform Forza Horizon 5. Now before we get into this video, like button down below, abuse it. Let's hit 4,000 likes on this video, come on, it will make me very happy. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into this video.
When I was 16, I had big dreams. Mum said don't follow no crowd.
Now Convertibles were a brand new addition to Forza Horizon 5, which really transformed the game. It helped to give the cars more personality in a way, but it's only seen on a very small selection of cars, which is pretty annoying. So I really hope that they get around to adding this feature on every single convertible car in the game. Now I'm not just talking about convertible cars in the game which don't have the toggle switch, but other cars in the game which are convertibles in real life, which you probably don't realise. As the Chevrolet Impala in real life is a convertible, which completely transforms the look of the car. Same with the C7 Corvette, C8 Corvette, the Lotus Exige, and many more cars. I mean, Forza recently made the Pagani Zona Cinque convertible, which completely changes the look of the car. This car has been in the Forza franchise for years, yet this little update completely transformed the car, as we've only ever been able to drive this car with the roof on. So I really hope that sometime in the near future, Forza gives the convertible option for all cars that can be convertibles in real life. That would be so cool.
I'm calling someone a ringlead. Man, I'm talking that pull up and crash.
Now in Forza Horizon 5 and practically every single Forza game, we have sim steering as an option, which makes the game a lot more friendly to wheel users. But one thing that'll help out wheel users so much more is perhaps the sim shifting setting. So what is sim shifting, I hear you say? Well, as you may know, we have 3 options for shifting in the game: automatic, manual, or manual with clutch. So why not add sim shifting as a 4th option? Because our manual in real life require you to use the clutch, cars with flappy paddles you can shift without a clutch, and automatic cars would just be, well, automatic? Because let's be honest, I'm sure we're all tired of shifting automatic cars with a shifter and a clutch. It just feels so wrong. This is a feature us players have been requesting for years, but I feel like the reason the devs didn't include it is because they didn't want to confuse the young audience with simulation-like controls, as at the end of the day, Forza Horizon is an arcade game, not a sim. So for people who prefer sim-like controls, it would be really nice to have sim shifting as an option, as that could really help to bring a whole new audience to the Forza Horizon franchise.
If I pull up and crash on Wiley, I'm making a big scene.
Okay, so in Forza Horizon 5, as you may know, to use the horn you need to press on the thumbstick and hold it down, which is fine. Completely normal and expected for cars with an actual horn. But for the police siren in the game, you have to do the exact same thing? It's not like Grand Theft Auto where you can tap it and the sirens turn on. You literally need to hold onto it, which is so annoying. You can't simulate police chases in the game without accidentally letting go of the horn button. So yep, it's quite a quick point, but I really hope the devs adopt Grand Theft Auto's method of operating a horn by holding the thumbstick and operating a siren by tapping it. It's a very simple feature which could go a very long way.
Ain't thinking for themselves.
Okay, now this is something that I'm very grateful for, which still kind of annoys me at the same time. As in Forza Horizon 5 during the story, you get to drive some very unique cars, like a flatbed truck, a monster truck, and even a parade float. Yeah, spoiler alert, you get to drive that and it's so much fun. But these are all one-time things. You don't get an opportunity to drive these vehicles again. I mean, sure, you could replay the event over and over again to get behind the wheel of these cars again, but it gets so boring after a while. Now, as cool as it would be, I'm not asking to free roam in these crazy cars because I don't think the map has the facilities for that, big man. So I at least hope that the developers sometime in the future create brand new events where you could drive these awesome cars again and again. Because if they put in this much effort to create these vehicles and add them into the game with so much detail, it would be such wasted potential if you only get to drive them once. So please developers, give us more opportunities to drive these incredible cars. Okay, now this is something that not many racing games get right nowadays, which would make such a huge difference in Forza Horizon 5. As when you're more immersed into a racing game with good sense of speed, you genuinely become a better driver. I used to be terrible on Assetto Corsa with braking zones. I always ran off the track, but when I tried it in VR, it immersed me into the game and I nailed every corner. This would have the exact same effect in Forza Horizon 5. So how exactly would you fix sense of speed? Well, it's simple. Add camera shake, give the camera G-force movement, add a tiny bit of motion blur, better, and it's that simple. Whether that translates as an easy job to video game developers is another story, but I genuinely think that improving sensor speed can go a very long way and completely change the way that you play racing games.
Okay, mate, well, hi, my name's Gets. I'm a father or two. I watch extreme sports and I roller skates.
Now, one thing Forza have massively worked on in Forza Horizon 5 is the customization, as we've received so many brand new body kits, big country lab wings, brake caliper painting options, and so many new wheels. So how could we top that? But perhaps having monthly customization updates. I mean, in Forza Horizon 3, we received an update which brought a fresh new batch of rims for us to put onto our cars. And in Forza Horizon 4, the developers brought out an update which included advanced wheel painting options, as well as fitment tuning as well, which was amazing. I loved it so much. So if it's possible to do that, how hard could it be to perhaps add 4 new rims and 1 new body kit every month or so? Hence, I'm really hoping that in Forza Horizon 5, they introduce monthly customization updates to freshen up the selection of mods we do to our cars.
My dad said I'm a madman, quad no helmet, 115 on the motorway.
Okay, now this may not be an easy thing for the developers to add, and I definitely don't think we'll be seeing this in Forza Horizon 5 as an update, but I genuinely think that having pedestrians could completely liven up the atmosphere of the game and give it a fresh breath of life. Now, don't get me wrong, the atmosphere of Forza Horizon games are certainly not boring at all, but comparing it with the likes of Grand Theft Auto, Midnight Club, and so many other video games that have pedestrians, you realise how big of a difference having ambient people could make. For example, in Grand Theft Auto, the pedestrians compliment your car and ask if they could take pictures with it. How fitting would that be in a racing game like Forza Horizon 5? It would make you want to customize your car further and drive around fishing for compliments if you're a weird person like me. I mean, the ambient people in the festival in Forza Horizon games don't speak at all. They just dance very weirdly and never change the facial expression. So it's a small ask which may take a lot of time to add, but I genuinely think that adding ambient pedestrians into the Forza Horizon franchise could seriously update and improve the overall experience of the game.
I'm back in the place.
Okay, now I mentioned this in one of my previous videos, but I had to mention it again because this is such a simple feature for the developers to add. I mean, the drone cam is great in Forza Horizon games, but it's so annoying that it's very limited to how high you can fly. It could barely make it above a tree, which doesn't make it feel like a drone, but instead a very cheap remote control helicopter. So I really hope that the developers could just remove the restriction and let us go ham with the drone. I mean, this was done in Forza Horizon 3's Hot Wheels expansion and it was beautiful. Just look at how high the drone can climb. And if you're still not convinced about how good of a feature this would be, take a look at this. These are all pictures taken in Forza Horizon 5 from a bird's eye view, and it really captures the true beauty of Horizon Mexico. So I really hope that we could get a drone that can fly much higher in Forza Horizon 5 and capture incredible scenes just like this.
I got pixie dust from Tinkerbell.
Okay, now I know I mentioned the extra steering angle way too much in these videos, but come on, we've been stuck with the same old steering angle since 2005. So surely they should have updated it in the space of 16 years. Now, so we definitely won't be seeing this added as an update because it's practically impossible. So I'm really hoping that the developers do implement this as a feature into the next game, because this current 180-degree steering rotation just seems so old school. Even Gran Turismo have updated their steering angle. So Forza developers, if you are watching, it may be pointless, but we'd all appreciate an increase in steering angle in a future Forza game. It's a very small feature which could definitely improve the Forza franchise. And that's the end of the video. I hope you all did enjoy. If you did not enjoy this video, that's a bit sad. If you want to see more videos just like this one, then make sure to subscribe to the channel down below. We are on the road to 250k, so help your boy out. Thank you very much, and I'll catch up with you guys very soon. Until next time, have a good one, guys. Stay safe, stay inside. Until next time, cheers.
My dineros, what I'm out to get. Sombrero, I get hat and then I'm out again. Got an A1 Chica with a drive like a 3 litre. That's what she needs D4, like the outfit.